Hey everyone, this short presentation is going to be on what to expect on Saturday, September 7th, whenever we do the Tough Mudder here as a group. So first of all, what to expect? Well, first, what to wear. I would wear longer pants that cover the knees. You're going to be doing a lot of crawling. You're going to get wet and muddy, so wear like a dry fit type of material that can dry quickly as well and kind of feel okay as you are soaked and muddy. Also, wear old workout shoes. Your shoes are going to be a mess at the end. Bring a bag with you with a change of clothes for afterwards. A change of shoes, a wash rag, and towel are helpful, along with maybe a bottle of soap and shampoo. Make sure you bring your ID and some cash if you want to for afterwards, if you want to purchase anything. So what we are going to do is we're going to meet at the gym at 8 a.m. We'll have some refreshments there to fuel up. And then there's going to be you're going to register. Then there'll be a place to drop off your bag. You'll get a number for that bag, so it will be back in a tent and protected. And then we'll group together. We'll walk to that starting point where they'll have a warm up and that send off. After we're done, they're going to have a platform area with hoses to wash yourself off. There'll be separate women's and men's tents to change in, and then we'll get our free beer and kind of hang out before bringing back. So one of the reasons to meet at the gym is we can kind of group up and carpool up if anybody wants to drive and can take other people. Then we don't have to everybody drives separately. It's about 40 minutes up 79 off that 422 exit up there. So there's just a little shot of what to expect. I said with those hoses, you clean yourself up afterwards, get into those tents and change. So here's the course map. And you can see there's a total of 25 obstacles. This is the area here where the start and finish is, the village with everything in it. They'll have music, they'll have different events going on as well. But anyway, we'll start right here. The biggest run, if you're in that 5K, is at the very beginning. It's probably a little over a mile. We'll be going around through 8 obstacles here, and then after the 8th one, you can see where it turns this orange part that breaks off for the 5K. They'll go off and do all of these middle ones, and the 5Ks will finish up doing the last 4 here to the finish point. If you're doing that extra 10K, you'll see that there are all these extra obstacles, and there is also one pretty long run in there that makes up that extra mileage. So what we're going to do is go through these 25 obstacles real quick and just let you know what to expect to them and sort of how we do them. So here are the obstacles for the 5K. You do the first 8, finish off 23 through 25, and that middle 9 through 21 are for the 15K. And we're going to walk through each of these real quickly here. So first off, start off with that kiss of mud. It's just barbed wire strung across, and you kind of have to army crawl underneath that barbed wire, and of course it's all mud underneath. Then you're going to jump into the creek, and the crusade is just heading up through that creek through a trek to that next obstacle, which will be skid marked, which is a wall you have to get up and over. With that wall, there are 2x4s going across to kind of help you get your foot on and get up and over, but that wall is leaning towards you, so it is a little bit difficult, and you kind of need help with people pushing you up from the bottom and pulling you up from the top. Then you go through Devil's Beard. It's usually a large net, usually on more of a hillside, but you have to crawl yourself under that net the entire way. And then it's another wall. This one's the Berlin Wall. It's straight up and down to make it easier. However, they don't put any 2x4s across for you to get your feet on. So you still need help getting up and over that wall. Then comes the Mudderhorn, where you're going to climb up this large structure. It is a rope ladder all the way up and all the way back down the other side. There is netting run behind you. So if you kind of fall backwards, you kind of fall into a net and you won't drop to your death. The Block Ness Monster are these triangular objects going across the water, and you got to get up and over them, but they rotate. So you push up on them, you hang on, and you kind of go over, but people from below kind of have to keep pushing it. Then you can turn and pull it down while they come up and over. Then going through the mud mow, it might be 6 or 7 of these mounds of mud and dirt with water in between. So you're slippery, so you need help getting up over top of them and down the other side. Then there's Lumberjack, which is just these logs you have to jump up on and get over. And then comes Everest, which is that warped wall you're going to take a run at. You're going to keep moving those feet, trying to get as high up as well as you can. If you can't grab the top, there's usually people up there who are going to help you grab your hand and help you pull over. There's usually also some ropes hanging down. You can grab onto that rope and pull yourself up. Then for the Arctic Enema, which you are going to usually slide down a sliding board into a tub of water that's full of ice, and there's usually a lot more ice than in this picture. It's usually like you break through all the ice cubes, and you have to go under the water to get under a bar, then out the other side. It is very refreshing, especially after doing that mud mile when you're all muddy. You end up getting pretty clean with that. And then coming across the electroshock therapy at the end, that's where you run or walk through these hanging wires. Some of them are just wires, some of them are charged, and they will shock you. So if you're breaking off into that 15K, you'll be doing these extra obstacles. There's the pyramid scheme where you kind of have to help each other get up, standing on each other's shoulders, pulling each other up to get to that top. There's the Texas Hold'em, where you hold hands with somebody on each side and shuffle across. What makes it very difficult is these objects are on springs, and you kind of have to find somebody hopefully close to your same weight and get across those. Then you go underneath, crawling through a little tent area, and they say it's tear gas. I believe it's just some type of irritant that is not fun to breathe. And then you're back into the creek for, they call it a swamp stomp, but the same thing. You're just going through that water before doing a hero carry, where you're going to carry somebody halfway across the distance, then switch and they'll carry you the rest of the way, or vice versa. Pitfall, you're going to walk through a pond of water, and the bottom of that water, which is only about knee deep, there'll be spots where there's big holes in them for you to fall into as you're walking across, unless you follow somebody and kind of know where they are. Tipping point is you'll crawl up through these tubes until you get to about the midpoint, and it's going to tip down, and you're pretty much going to slide down and out into the water from there. Just the tip is you're going across, with your fingertips across the board. Think Ninja Warrior. There's pegs to hold on to go further, and more wood, more pegs. And really the worst thing that you can do, you can see you have kind of a rope ladder to get up there at the start. But the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to fall into that water. The electric eel is kind of like the electroshock therapy, except you're crawling underneath of those wires, but some are too long for you to crawl under, and some of them are charged. And then hanging tough, where you're swinging across the rings, and again, worst thing happens is you fall into that water. The cage crawl is a fence that you are just using that to basically, you're swimming on your back, going underneath of it. Between that and the water is only about 6 inches, so the only thing really out of the water is your face. And then the ladder to hell is about a 20-foot structure, and you're just climbing up and over that. And then you will finish off before you meet the rest of the 5K course with the Funky Monkey, where you're going up these monkey bars to the wheels at the top, coming down the vertical wheels and then swinging to that bar and then shimmying down that bar to the end, or falling in the water in between. And that's it. That's what to expect, and we will see you on the 7th.